Coming up on this episode of The Village Idiom.
I just got over my addiction to chocolate, marshmallow, and nuts. If I'm honest, it was a rocky road.
Stupid.
Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every week we choose a popular saying to take an admittedly shallow, hopefully comedic, once in a while interesting, and if we're lucky, educational dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins, but mostly we're going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
I'm still skinny. Summer is working for me, man.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just find summer to be slimming.
Summer is slimming.
Yeah, I've been walking like a fiend.
So are stripes. No, black.
Black
is the new stripes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why prison people look so skinny. It's not the lack of nutrition.
Why do prison uniforms always have horizontal stripes? It makes you look thicker.
It thickens them up a bit.
But if they did vertical stripes, it'd be like model runway in every prison.
Like emaciated.
Maybe that just answered my own question.
It'd look like a Gucci fashion show.
Don't need model runway in prison.
Prison by Balenciaga. Well, it's a this particular time of year, I've been introduced to this new game.
Okay.
Which is, terrible with my little addictive habits.
Yeah, this is going to be a problem already.
So it's
Wait, how long have you been playing it? Before you even say what the game is, or
3 weeks.
Okay. I'm going to ask you this again next year. How long you've been? Sorry, I'm just trying to get buzz.
I intend to delete it like before too long. You know how I get. Is all okay?
Do you hear that?
Oh yeah. I definitely hear what you're doing right now.
Hang on, I'm trying to fix it.
There you go.
Okay.
Just don't touch it.
Okay.
That'd be fine.
Got it.
Okay, Pikmin Bloom.
Yeah.
So it involves walking, giving nectar to Pikmin, planting flowers.
Okay.
Non-confrontational.
I know of the game, but I've never tried it.
So all it is walking and more walking. And planting.
Like real life walking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or can you just joystick walk?
No, it uses your step counter.
You have. So this is like in the vein of Pokemon Go?
Yes. So
as far as
same company,
word?
same company. It's Niantic. Yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah, but what's the word I'm thinking about?
Location?
No.
Thermal.
Am I thinking of thermal?
I think that's what geography.
No, like the
Geode.
Alternate
Reality.
AR. Is it like AR?
Like a rifle.
Is it like an AR-15? That's an AK. Wait,
47.
that's the AK. That's the 2-digit code for Alaska. Or do you have to play in Alaska?
Sometimes. the AR in the augmented reality.
Augmented. Thank you.
Is that the word you were going
yes.
for? Why would you go with geo then?
Because I couldn't think of it.
Oh, I see.
And I was like, alternate
geography.
Yeah.
No, that makes a ton of sense.
Augmented.
Like meta.
But it's not. This game is...
You can do AR. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, it's just the walking. I've been enjoying walking. I've been enjoying nature. I've been enjoying summer. Yeah, it's fantastic. How about you? Summer plans going great?
I need to play more video games to get more exercise, apparently.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I might have to get into video games to get more walking in.
So talking about like people entrenched sometimes in something.
Yeah.
So
like a soldier in a foxhole.
Exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was at this wedding over this past weekend.
This is your road trip wedding.
No, this is a different wedding.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm at weddings all the time. I love a good wedding.
All right.
I don't even know the people. I just show up. Is that
Wedding.
buffet? Okay. And so it was like they were running the slideshow of like active stuff all the time. It's like, this is us swimming, this is us hiking, this is us camping, this is us whatever. And they were always out doing something. And so I was emceeing this wedding. And so when my children and demographic was in the room, I said, so what you're saying is you didn't meet them playing video games. And so it's, yeah. So
They're like, actually, we met online. Then we went camping.
well, they met at school. So it was beautiful, like little love story. But anyways, it wasn't playing Pikmin Bloom. It wasn't
Believe it or not.
but just the video game. Sometimes those folks are like just really like impenetrable to like break their life course.
Yeah. And if you are in that sort of situation, you will always be impenetrable.
Okay, we'll move right along.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, just those particular people are just so entrenched in their ways.
That you can't break through.
You can't break through.
No. And that leads us to today. And I was looking at different clips, and I thought Sam Malone says it best for today's, remember Sam Malone?
Cheers.
Yeah, for today's idiom, and it goes a little something like this. Hit it.
Claudia's been a tough nut to crack.
Claudia's been a tough nut to crack.
Tough nut.
Tough nut to crack. Actually,
What happened to our screen?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm still dongle-less.
You have no dongle.
I have no dongle. I've been without dongle and continue to be because I just keep forgetting to get a dongle.
Maybe a good friend of yours will write it in a note in your phone. Already has.
Did
Today.
you had when you had my phone?
Yeah. So we'll get it sorted.
Maybe a good friend who is you.
We'll get it sorted out. So a tough nut to crack.
Tough nut
That's
to
a
crack.
fun idiom.
Yeah, and when we were talking about this just before press and record here, but I don't know if that came through kind of quiet. I'm going to just play it again because
Claudia's been a tough nut to crack.
Tough nut to crack. When we set out to do today's, you and I were both saying a hard nut to crack.
Yeah.
And we'll get into origins or whatever, but they're interchangeable clearly. But as far as the internet and media goes, tough nut to crack seems to be way more popular than
A tough nut.
hard nut.
Yeah,
nut
at least
to
in like
crack.
our like vernacular, the system, how we kind of go about things. Tough nut. That's a tough nut.
Yeah.
You can even like just chop it down to just tough nut.
Tough nut.
That's a tough nut.
Yeah.
Yeah, which when I was going through and
I got a real tough nut to crack.
That was a bonus one because I clicked on it accidentally.
we talk about people like entrenched in things, and I was working through in my lookings up for stuff for today, and drug addicts came up like a lot, like
Okay.
the challenge of working through addiction things. And so I came across this. I thought it'd crack you up. I just got over my addiction to chocolate, marshmallow, and nuts. If I'm honest, it was a rocky road.
Stupid. I was waiting for a crack joke.
That's
Tough nut to
funny.
crack, and then you went right into drug addicts.
Oh man, that's why it's a collaboration.
So even when you were telling that joke, I'm like, it's going to end with
Something about
nuts
crack.
and crack and yeah. Rocky Road.
It's a rocky road.
It was a decent punchline. My brain was elsewhere.
okay.
Yeah.
you're looking ahead, so it was deflating.
Yeah, and if we haven't said so, a tough nut to crack just means it's a difficult problem or a hard person to deal with. And I think excuse me.
I think you. No, you don't need to walk at all. You're fine.
No, yeah, walking Phoenix. I always, my brain goes to like that guy who's being tortured to get the information, and they go, he's a tough nut to
It's
crack.
a tough nut.
Yeah,
Just
but,
like saying
but it can
it's-
be in any situation.
Well, it can have
It can be a math problem. That's a tough nut.
a person that won't give up information.
Tough nut to crack.
That's a tough nut, like an interrogation situation. There was came across this. My dog is a tough nut. I've been interrogating him for hours, and he still won't tell me who's a good boy.
You've been interrogating him.
Oh, see, it's a collaboration. We can just keep tweaking these terrible jokes.
That's like a Far Side right there.
Interrogating?
Like no. The
Or like
who's
a-
a good boy? Who's a good boy? And at the bottom it just says, no matter how many times he was asked, Rex was never going to give up the information.
That's exactly how it would be.
Yeah.
It's better with a picture.
Yeah,
With like a lamp shining at him.
totally. A single leg.
Who's a good boy?
Who's a good boy?
Tell me, who's a good boy?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, so whether it's positive or negative, a person's ability to keep the secret, like you're never going to get it
they'd
on.
be a
They're
tough
a
nut to
tough
crack.
nut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. Someone who's not giving that up quick.
No, and we're going to get into the origins, but I did, and maybe you did too. Did you stumble upon actual nuts? Like what are the hardest nut to crack? Did you go down that road?
No, but this
Okay,
is great.
well-
I'm going to go with Brazil.
Wow.
Really?
No, but
Oh.
yes and no.
Wow, is
So-
that it?
No, because there's basically 3 came to the surface, and all the people. Believe it or not, this is quite the discussion on forums.
Well, because people can do a walnut with their hands. I can't. But allegedly, you have enough force generating in,
Yeah,
in
I can
a
do it with my
hand.
glutes.
Yeah, I just pop that back there. I just don't want the end product. Yeah, it's all good. No, thank you.
Are these chocolate covered?
Gross.
I just got a. Did you hear that slight groan from the studio audience? It was face palm. No, technically the hardest nut to crack is the macadamia nut, which I was surprised. I thought it'd be something more obscure.
Like Manoa Loa?
Yeah. It takes approximately 300 pounds of pressure per square inch to crack the macadamia nut. And
how does it ever like plant itself in nature? Like what is penetrating that?
wow, I don't know. I didn't come across that, but I do.
Maybe that's why they're so rare.
But I do have that information for a Brazil nut, which is why I went, wow, because Brazil nuts are also difficult, but for a different reason. The macadamia nut, which is most known, what did you say, Manoa Loa?
Manoa Loa.
Manoa Loa is most known in Hawaii.
Yes.
But it was actually brought over from Australia. So it's an Australian nut. And
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
Like pineapple and Manoa Loa.
Yep.
Like these are Hawaiian products.
Yep.
But it's actually Australian.
Actually, Australia. Actually, pineapple might not be originally Hawaiian
even
either
tell me that.
because
You're ruining
the colonization of Hawaii was for pineapple plantations, right?
I don't know. I think Dole.
Yeah,
What?
those were European guys that started that in
Really?
Hawaii. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Anyway, 300 pounds of pressure per square inch to crack open a macadamia. And if you've ever had a macadamia nut cookie, that buttery,
Yeah.
it's like 96%
Fat.
oil and
Yep.
fat. Yeah, it's huge.
Delicious.
Brazil nuts. This was the interesting one. They have an incredibly hard shell in triangular. I'm looking at my notes because it was interesting enough that I wrote it down. In triangular cross section, and they are, how do I word it? So they can be up to 5 pounds when they drop from the tree.
What?
Up to 6. Small cannonballs is
Just
how
dropping from the tree.
come. Yeah, so they're
Do
like
they come in clusters or are they?
so they
individual
come
nuts?
they come several nuts within one cannonball size.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is making more sense.
So they hit the ground. They do not break open, and if they did, they're so heavy that they don't get far enough away from the tree to plant themselves. So they are completely 100% dependent on. Are you ready for this? The agouti, which is a guinea pig-like animal that chomps that thing open with its sharp incisors. It's the only time you see one of those Brazil, other than human getting involved, is like if it hits the ground and no agouti gets it, it sits there and rots and dies.
This is crazy.
It's dependent on the agouti to take it. They open it up, start to eat the nuts. It's too many nuts inside for them to eat in one sitting, so they store them in their cheeks, march off wherever they march off to.
Wow.
And then and then bury them for safekeeping for later. So new Brazil nut trees are coming from
Forgotten
the
nuts?
nut. Yeah, the forgotten nuts that agouti animals planted in the ground.
Okay, remember for later. Agouti. Agouti.
And then the third one that
Agouti.
came up just for fun was pine nuts, which are not hard to crack at all, but they're so finicky to get to that, what did they say? Pine nuts, getting the nuts out of the cone is such a fiddly thing, and there's resin in there. Oh, where is it?
Is this like a
it can
Willy
take
Wonka?
it can take an hour to get less than a handful when done by hand.
This, like that Willy Wonka with the squirrels. Daddy, I want a squirrel.
Yeah.
But the Willy Wonka used like squirrels to get them out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway,
Less than a handful in an hour.
Brazil
Sounds like you're
Brazil nut
burning-
was the interesting one.
You're
So I
burning
thought it
more
was
calories than you're getting.
right. Yeah,
It's not a good.
not worth it.
No.
It's a hard nut to crack.
That is. Well, these are interesting.
Anyway, that was the origin story of Brazil nuts.
It has nothing to do with the origin of the idiom.
No.
Well, I was
Sure.
thinking as well in terms of like tough nuts to crack. If you've ever tried to access any social services,
No, never.
okay. I went with a buddy, just got out of prison, to get him, let's see what we could get him for some social assistance related things. Government is a tough nut to crack. Trying to find so we go to like the welfare office, whatever that. All right, and talk with him. Okay, well, you don't have this particular form. You need to go to the CRA to get your whatever. Okay, thank you for your time. So waited at one place, off to the CRA, wait over there, blah, blah, blah. No. You need this whatever from Vital Statistics in order to move to this next
Is this
step.
beetle bat you're talking about?
No.
Okay.
No.
Continue.
And so Noah, as a friend, finally the runaround was just so bad that we're just like, okay, man, good luck. Like,
No way.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, we couldn't penetrate the system.
Huh.
Yeah, it was nuts. nuts.
Ooh.
Bonkers.
Was
Insane.
nuts too hard to crack. That's interesting.
It was so,
that's
it was
sad.
so, the runaround was so crazy that we just abandoned mission.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's
That seems
all of these things
wrong.
were, I felt that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it turned out that in prison, there is a person that can help you while you're there to get these things
once you're
sorted out
out-
to help you get them sorted out for when you're out.
That's what I mean.
And then they blew it off.
But if you wait,
yeah, so if you're listening from prison and you're like, I only get 15, 30 minutes of time a week, and you're dedicating it to this podcast, you make bad choices in life, and that's why you're in prison. So just get that out of there. But go talk to the person who takes care of HR or something. Yeah. Stop making toilet wine. Stop making toilet wine. Okay.
Yeah.
I just had to get that off my chest.
that's good. Chestnuts.
Roasting.
For our prisoner listeners, that's fun to say. For our prisoner listeners, we only give social media ways of reaching out to us. We should probably have a phone number. Let's work on that.
Okay.
Because they only get one call.
Right. If you're gonna make
what if it was for us?
Right. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah. Hey,
Like everyone else, they would get Vince isn't available right now.
yeah, we could have a special episode for our Village Idiom prisoners.
Okay. That's thoughtful.
Yeah, we need a phone number.
Okay.
They can call
we'll
in.
work on it. Okay.
You were
we
getting
should probably find.
a call from corrections. Yeah, you want to get into it?
Yeah. Let's find out where this comes from.
I'm
Like
trying.
today?
I'm trying.
Like we should find out today sometime.
You have bad
Said
attitude.
some words, where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origins.
All right, you ready for this? This expression is a metaphor alluding to the tough exterior of a nutshell and how hard they are to crack open. It's been in use since the 1700s.
Cool. What else?
That's about all I got.
It's the worst origin story.
This is the extent.
Why sometimes are they so bad?
So I had to spend extra time to get this next sentence, and it's
Okay.
not much more. This early analogy, also put as hard nut to crack, what we already talked about, was first drawn in the early 18th century, which is the same as saying since the 1700s. But here's one quote. Benjamin Franklin used it in a letter in 1745, and this is what it says. Fortified towns are hard nuts to crack, and your teeth have not been accustomed to it. So there is proof that it's 1700s, but other than that, that is the extent. There is no actual point of origin. We don't know who said it first. We don't know what nut they were referring to. Benjamin Franklin is a good source to say he came up with it, but nobody even said that. They just quoted him as having said it in the mid 1700s. So hard nut to crack, I guess nut is has been enough of a staple in humanity's diet for it to be a relatable.
No.
Maybe
I'm
it probably
left.
started in somebody's sermon.
Well,
Did you see this Brazil nut?
probably would never have seen
Got a
one.
Brazil nut cannonball in this hand and a
Gochujang.
gooty.
A goodie, that's what it was.
Like, I want to keep planting this till you got it.
Okay, 'cause
a
I know
gootee.
it's coming.
Yeah. They used to make a gooty purses out of them.
Like that type of cheese. Like goodie, cheddar, goodie,
gootee.
Havarti.
Yeah, it's like a guinea pig. I should have looked it up. I don't know what it looks like, but it said guinea pig like.
Do those guinea pigs have the taste of a Brazil nut?
Guinea pigs are eaten in.
It's like why flamingos are pink from eating all them shrimp.
Do you hear that? They're a waterfall tractor.
A little bit.
Yeah. No, guinea pigs are a popular delicacy in Ecuador. I don't know if they eat agoutis.
Why is it just that's where they're abundant? Is that where we get Brazil nuts from? Is Ecuador? That would be awesome.
I don't know. No, that's agoutis, though. Guinea
see.
pigs, I'm assuming, are from New Guinea.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Agouti, I don't know. Agoutiville.
Right.
Agoutistan. That's where they're from. I'm going to guess
Surviving the
Brazil
hard-
nuts come from Brazil.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking. That's it's like this doesn't make sense. It's such a wonderful.
You're thinking
world.
of the Ecuadorian nut.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
that's the origin story. I'm sticking to it, and I hope you enjoyed it.
was very informative. But moving on from there, we should probably start wrapping this thing up into some riddles.
You want to?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a couple
It
prepared.
feels like we just need to stall because our origin story was so short, no?
No,
Anything interesting happened to you this morning? No? Okay, let's get into it. Riddlink is a game we like to play. It's a two-part trivia-based question. Requires a two-part overlapping answer, overlapping by sound, syllable, word, or word. So, for example, last week our idiom was to get wind of, if you remember that. It was fun. Get wind of, and we left you with this one. Thank you for all of you who did write in, because there was some.
Okay.
With the correct answer, not one incorrect answer this time. 7 Days of Great Whites on Discovery is the movie where they prop up a dead guy like a marionette.
That would be Shark Weekend at Bernie's.
That is correct. It's not Shark Week. It's not Weekend at Bernie's. It's Shark Weekend at Bernie's. And that is how you play Riddlink.
Perfect. I've got 2 prepared for today.
I got 2 prepared.
I should probably go first because in case there's low-hanging fruit here.
Agouti.
Agouti. I got it. Okay. They are a difficult person to unravel when eating a side of baby sheep.
Say it again.
They are a difficult person to unravel when eating a side of baby sheep.
I'm going to say a Tough.Nut.To.Crack of lamb.
That's it.
Nice.
I was trying to work crack baby in there, but and I was like, man, that's just mean. Kind of.
Tough.Nut.To.Crack, baby. Crack
Yeah.
house.
Oh, that would have been nicer, but crack
Crack
baby.
house,
Yeah.
Okay,
Gentle it up a bit.
here's one for you. I think you'll get this right away. Classic McDonald's burger is the hardest to crack. Classic McDonald's burger is the hardest to crack.
Wow. Okay, you have to say it a third time.
Classic McDonald's burger is the hardest to crack.
I'm like Big Mac, Quarter Pounder.
And which nut is the hardest to crack?
Is that a Big Macadamia nut?
Yes, that's all it is.
That's awesome. The Village Idiom children definitely beat me to that one. Yeah, I had a little bit of an aneurysm there, but I'll be okay. I'm just bouncing back. Okay.
Like it bouncing, baby.
Baby
Crack
back.
baby.
Crack baby back. What question I asked my male dog named Karma Chameleon?
What? Do it again.
What question I asked my male dog named Karma Chameleon?
I got it. I was like lost on that one. Who's a good boy, George?
That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Who's a good boy, George? Yeah.
All right, well, I got one more, but you can let everybody know how they can play
Sure.
along at home.
Village Idiom children, we would love to hear from you. Call our hotline
Yep.
if you're a prison folk. Mail us in the mail. Or send us something digitally on Instagram at the.village.idiom or email us thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebook, the YouTubes, or the X at 3 Minutes Gone.
Beautiful. All right, here it is. The final installment of this Bruce Willis movie series is an acorn way of describing a tough problem, and I use the word tough on purpose.
Okay.
The final installment of this Bruce Willis movie series is an acorn way of describing a tough problem.
And that is 3 Minutes Gone.
I think you got that.
I think so.
Everybody at home is writing down a gooty something.
Is it have anything to do with Christmas? Maybe. That's still up for debate.
Yippee-ki-yay, a gooty.
That's like, that sounds like really Nigerian the way you said
A
it.
gooty.
Yeah, you got a good thing going on there.
Hard not to crack a gooty.
It works somehow when you say it. I love it. Well, it was fun putting today's episode
I
together.
loved it.
I'm Skitty,
I'm Jurassic Mark.
and these are the Village Idioms.
That's 3 minutes gone.